Something that a lot of people want to hear and that I could actually explain. I'm sorry, I'm oh wow right now, but it's fine. Is the explanation or breakdown of my vocal technique that is more on the pitched side of growling, screaming, stuff that I use a lot in my band Medea, for example, but also throughout, vocal covers ranging all the way from all the way from cattle decapitation to Whitechapel. What a huge difference there is. No, but there is, and different, certain. Sorry about that. Certain styles require different approaches, and this is one sort of style that always works for me when I approach stuff like Travis Ryan or Phil Bozeman. I just call those people stuff. Anyway, and it's actually kind of ironic because I discovered how to do this while I was recording raps. So, rapping made me a better vocal growler, heavy metal singer. Rap is crap, you say? No, no, no. Anyway, let's take a listen here. If I could pull up some Travis Ryan conveniently to illustrate my point of what type of vocal I'm talking about here. You hear it? There's a pitch there. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. So you could clearly hear a pitch there. Na, 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 na. Although that is not the note he was hitting. Na, 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 na. That is actually the note he was singing. And isn't it weird? Because when you hear it growled like that, it sounds way lower. But na 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 is the note he was hitting. So, alright, I know how to sing like a wimpy man. La 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 la. But I can't do that over fucking cattle decapitation here. So how do I make it into a growl? How do I take that pitch and insert it into a growl? Well, this might be glossing over some very crucial fundamentals here, but I don't know how to teach you this. All I can say is, if you know how to make this sound in your throat, it might sound familiar to you. To me, what that resembles is throat singing. The Tibetan monks, those badasses. Who else does that a lot? Or used to do that a lot? Joe from Gojira. It's all over the link live or stuff like that. So I don't know if that is the exact technique that they actually use in throat singing. I'm not going to be like, a trained throat singer here. No, it's just like that's what I reference it in my mind as. So if you can do that. If not, I don't know what to tell you because I don't know how to teach you that. It's just something that I discovered or always know that I can do. And you can hear there's an interval in there. I don't know what those notes are, what the interval is. I don't know if there's more than one note. There's clearly more than one, but more than two notes in there, or how that works. In theory, but I can keep those notes. I can keep that same interval bunched together up until a certain point. You'll hear if I start low and start going higher, you'll hear what happens. Watch actually what I do with my back of my throat or neck or whatever. No. That there is the pitch, or the, what should I call it, the margin of what my vocals usually are in the range of. Say it right about there, you say. Well, you still say, what the fuck, this doesn't sound like metal vocals. No, 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 no. No, it doesn't really. How do I make it sound like Travis or Phil or Franz? That's me, by the way. Franz. How do I make it sound like me? Like this is, well, of course, you just assume your growling position in your mouth. And that turns the into, but still does not sound accurate, doesn't it? It sounds way too clean, doesn't it? It sounds way too throat singy. Just throat sung by, I don't know. Hello, everybody. I am Mr. Man. Mr. Man, apparently. But remember what I just showed you there with the note that Travis was hitting. It wasn't actually. Let me reference that again. It was. So there we have it. And you remember when I went from a lower register with the throat singy stuff to a higher one, that interval, that steady, that robotic sounding sort of undertone, overtone, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it starts to dissipate. It starts to crumble. It starts to break into just this gravelly distortion, just general thing. You hear that? There's a lot more happening there than just a couple of static. You know what I'm saying here. So, wrong pitch, an octave higher, we do with the growling mouth, and it sounds like slaves were to serve, your own demanding whatever from our own demands. So there you have it. That's how you do pitched metal vocals that sound like that. And then the whole basis of my sound of when I do metal vocals is I vary the pitch. I vary the amount of tone that I let through. Because contrary to some belief, when you do a low guttural growl, you don't go down in pitch. Or I should say, I don't go down in pitch. Like, okay, I want to make it really like guttural. Like, for example, what Travis does here at the end of that phrase. End of that line, de-evolved man. I don't go. It's not how it works for this sort of stuff. It's just that is still the exact same technique. I can have the same position. De-evolved man. Only I take all of that tone out. Until I'm left with only the gravel. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep myself to that one note here. Of course, it sounds different when you do it like this than when you do it in studio and you have tons of equipment. And I'm sorry, that's not the actual thing. It's not the equipment. It's the fact that you're used to hearing vocals in the context of the music. So, when you try stuff out and you only hear yourself, your own vocals, you're like, what the fuck? It sounds like garbage. No, it sounds like what it sounds like when it's isolated. You slam a bunch of compressed guitars and drums and shit on it. It hides all the frequencies that you're hearing right now, which don't seem right to you. And it sounds perfect all of a sudden. But anyway, and that's actually, I'm still to this day, I'm sort of mind blown about that. Like, how can that, just how you're producing the note, it makes it sound like it's an octave lower than what it is. For this is a very good example that's your disposal. song off of Monolith of Inhumanity. The way it just sounds like it's like but it's not. It's just you're not used to hearing notes in that context, so it makes it so fucking cool. And that's yeah, that is a sound, a technique that I've straight up just heard in cattle decapitation. I was like, fuck, I want to do that. Started experimenting, learned how to do it. Noticed that there's so many subtleties, so many degrees of everything that you can insert and take out and vary and pitch and stuff and fucking force, and there's just so many variables in there that is the basis of my all my vocals. Like it's the same shit. Anyway, hope you learned something. If not, have a good day.